What's going on, bootstrappers? This is a late afternoon edition of a Motivational Monday, which is like Twilight Zone, like Twilight Monday and like early dawn Tuesday. All right, so for those that are watching this replay, a little bit of housekeeping on this. So we are getting a lot of different loan opportunities inside the group here. You all have my express permission to go ahead, and anytime you see one of these guys, just go ahead and flag them. I don't even flag them, just, delete them because they're bogus. Every single one of these guys are bogus. What's going on, Rusty? What's up, Eric? So I just went through and I think I deleted like 6 or 7 just as I'm driving here of just these loan guys. And one guy looked like he would look legitimate. I'm like, he wasn't like Roger Moore does loans at gmail.com. He was like loan request at principalfinancialfundingllc.com. And I was like, oh, okay, his name was Nathaniel somebody. So he looked like he was like somewhat legit. So I go to his profile, and of course, profile has a picture of this Nathaniel guy, Nathaniel Anderson, I think his name was, and then a bunch of like money pictures and stuff like that. And I'm like scrolling down, and all of a sudden it's like all these dudes from like Nigeria, Nairobi, and all of this stuff. Like, hey man, happy birthday! Hey, salam, all these like crazy things going back and forth. And I'm like, here it is. This guy's a fraud. He changed his profile pic and his name, but all these other dudes were like hitting him up like a year and a half ago about happy birthday and all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, straight up. So I was giving someone the benefit of the doubt. Hey, what's up, Eric? And so you guys see these guys, just flag them. We don't need anyone doing loans in this business anyway. I mean, what I teach you as far as being a bootstrapper is you don't need loans. Yeah, you're going to get to a point where you're going to want to have loans, but you'll have money partners already developed, and people will know you have a reputation in town and all of that, so you don't need these crack addict guys that are out here looking for a little bit. So basically, this is how it works. What's up, Crystal? They find desperate people that are looking for a loan, and they go, great, fill out this loan application. It's a $500 application fee. Guess what happens? They take the $500 and, oh, sorry, you're denied for whatever reason, or you don't have enough equity, or whatever the situation is. If they even get that far, it's a total scam. They're just taking people's money. It's like $500 here, $500 there. I myself personally haven't had this happen to me. I know people that have, and this is what they told me. And so that's the issue on that. So, little update here. I just got out of court again for the second time with the same tenants. These guys are great, but anyway, this one their hands were slapped even harder, just because they're trying to come into the court for the same issue at a different angle. You gotta love them, man. Hey, man, Eric, if you want to build a career on $500 scamming people, go for it, bro. You just won't do it in this group. Just kidding. No, you won't do it in this group. You will not. So, but these guys, I'm like, come on, man, wasted my day. I had to go to court, had to have an attorney, my other attorney that I have a retainer with, he couldn't make it. He got deposed on another court case, so we had this other one come, and she was nice. I mean, she did a great job. Don't let her fool you that because she's a girl she can't be aggressive. She put these guys in place, and I was like, I think I'm going to let my other guy go and go with this gal, because she was good, man. She was no nonsense, to the point. Call my cousin Vinny. That's right, man. Bring a baseball bat. But here's what I decided to do. So I do a lot of probates, and for those of you guys that are coming to the bootstrap training that we have, we're going to go on how to get leads. You are never going to hurt for leads again. You're going to have so many leads coming at you that you won't know what to do with them. You probably have to go out and either start partnering with each other or doing crazy things, because I'm gonna bring the rain. I'm gonna be a rainmaker, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I'm getting all of the leads that I am getting right now, and they're a lot. And so I'm gonna share all that with you. One of the things that I've had though is probate. Probate's been in my back pocket for a very, very long time, and I'm gonna share with you guys a lot of the stuff on how I do that. And since we're at a red light here, let me just show you something. I created this petitioner thing, so I go down, I read the petitions, and it has all the information that I need. I have everything that I need. From this one sheet here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 different probate cases all right here that I am able to now upload to my VA. My VA goes ahead and does everything that I've trained her to do, and then it comes back to me when it's ready to go, and I send out the letters. I personally sign the first letter of my probate just to make it a little bit more personal. Someone has just died. I'm not going to get like a robo sign or something like this, printed, all pixelated. Like, what's this guy's name? I can't read it. It's all faded. I can't read what it says. They actually get my John Herbie Hancock. Or my Herbie Hancock. They're gonna get that. But I digress. So I've had a hard time in Chico. In Sutter County, got it down. In Yuba County, got it down. In Sac County, I went down and didn't have enough time to crack the code, but I bounced out of there because they're like, I don't know what the heck. This is the state capitol, and they're like using MS-DOS. You get this green screen or this black screen with this like green blinking cursor, and like one finger at a time keyboard. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is ridiculous. But so the same thing was happening with me up here. It's just they weren't using MS-DOS. They had a Windows-based program, but it's the same program that I use in the in Sutter and Yuba County. And the codes were different. So every county is different. So Yuba County has a different code for probate. Sutter County has a different code for probate. I'm up here and I'm trying these variations of this code, of trying to find out what the civil code is so that I can crack the probate stuff up here. And obviously I did it. You saw the sheet that I had. I filled out 4 of those sheets and I still wasn't even done. I'm like, man, I got like another at least 75 leads that I got to go up there and take care of. So I had 8 there, so that's what, 24 of that. So yeah, that must have been 100 leads that I pulled, and that's just from 2018 up until now. I'm just like, man, this is like, everyone's dying in Butte County. Everyone's going under. But here's the moral of the story is that because I had the time. What's up, Joel? You have to do this. You have to figure out what your county. And I'm gonna teach you guys when you come. I'm gonna teach you how to find that code, because once you find that code, you can go in there. And I've developed I didn't develop anything. I shouldn't say that. I was from my computer programming days back in the day. Like, well, I never even was a computer programmer. I used to work and do SQL query searches, and in doing so, I was able to learn a little bit of computer programming that allows me to go ahead and kind of manipulate the software so that I can find all the probate leads all at once, so that I don't have to like worry about anything. And so this is exactly what I did. So I'm up there and I'm like outside court, and I'm just like out there just like a little kid in a candy store writing down all this stuff. My wife keeps on texting me. She's like, are you gonna come home yet? So finally, like, I'm leaving. I'm like, oh crap, yeah, it's like 3:40 or 4:45. She's like, dinner's gonna be ready and you're not gonna be here. I'm like, honey, I can't. I got like so many leads up here. I felt like crying. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving all these people. So there was so much opportunity. And if you're going to be in Chico tomorrow night, I'm actually going to be teaching on probates. I'm not going to spill the goods. I'll share a little bit. But for my boys that have invested in themselves and gals to come to the 3-day intensive that we are going to be doing, I am going to unlock the floodgates for you all. You are all going to be able to walk away with not just probate leads, but all of the lead sources that I have been keeping in my back pocket that I have not made readily available for anybody. So that's my way of rewarding you for investing in yourself and this business. With that said, we are completely sold out. There is no more opportunity, and unfortunately that just is the nature of the beast. So I want to commend you all for taking early action on that. But with that said, I do have one guy that is, something came up over the weekend, and he's not 100% sure. He's paid, he's in, but he said he'll know 100% sure tomorrow if he needs to back out because of something that came up with his wife. He didn't want to go into details about it, and I'm totally cool, man. So there may be one opening left. I already have a waiting list, but I just want to let you all know that this is a pretty rock solid group. But that being said, we're all good. So I'm driving home here. What questions do you guys have? How can I benefit you guys? How can I help you today? Keep you motivated, keep you going on so that you can go out and get some more deals and make some money for you and yourself and your families. Can I please know where it is in Chico? Go ahead and look up on meetup.com. It's in Chico, and Eric, you're more than welcome to drive up there, but you're going to be part of the group anyway, bro. So if you want to get a head start, that's totally cool. But you're going to be getting that and much, much more when we meet on our 3-day. But it's going to be in Chico, and it's going to be at the Realtor's office on, I think it's 1st Avenue in Chico. But you can go on meetup.com, and I think it's under, it used to be under Chico Meetup. I think it's under Northern Real Estate Alliance or something like that, or Northern Real Estate. But it's based out of Chico, and it's at the Realtor's office, and I believe it's on 1st Street. Sharon Ames, A-M-E-S, she is the host, good friend of mine, and she's the one that tapped me on the shoulder and asked if I would speak on probate for their group, because they need it. Obviously, there's no one up there doing these deals. But I got them all right here. Whoa. Hey, thanks, Eric. I got 2 Erics. I got Eric G, and I got Eric May. So, all right, man. Thanks, Eric G. Yeah, it was fun getting that thing sold out. It's kind of crazy. I sold that thing out in like less than like 3 or 4 days. It was amazing. So, and I intentionally planned on keeping it very, very intimate, very close, so that some of you guys are in relatively close markets, but there's not going to be any real overlap. I want to make sure that you guys are all profitable and there's more than enough to go around. Yeah, Eric May, I'm glad you're hungry, bro. Come on up. If you want, let me know. And no, I'm not going to say this out loud. PM me, private message me, Eric May, and we'll see what you got going on tomorrow. I might be able to. I'll tease everybody. Here we go. Let's see if we can arrange something to go to the courthouse, and I'll show you exactly how to pull these things. I'm pretty confident that in Placer, which is an area close to yours, that this will be a way that you can actually pull some leads in Placer. I haven't cracked the code yet on Sacramento. I need to make it down there and do that, and I probably will in the next couple of weeks. But if you want to come up, Eric, PM me, and I'll let you know. We can meet up at the courthouse there, and we can make something happen. So I give you a little bit of extra hand-holding and walking through how to read some of these petitions. If not, you know what? You're going to get plenty of value at the event itself, the meetup, and you'll be able to apply what I learn easily, and it'll lay the foundation for what you're going to learn during our 3 days together. All right, guys, what else you guys got? What other questions? Oh man, don't make me turn this thing off and focus on my driving. I'm actually a better driver when I'm reading these questions here. All right, well, I guess that's it. So, oh, what's up, Jeremy? Jeremy just busted on the scene. Hey, bro, I'm answering questions right now. Do you have anything for me? Nothing's off limits. I'll tell you the size of my shoe if you're interested. I love this replay. What up, man? Jeremy, are you in San Antonio? Or are you just in Texas in general? What do I do with probate leads? Yeah, I appreciate that, Eric May. Thanks. Eric G. So here's what I do with probate leads. I mail letters. I mail flowers to the family members who have just died. And I say, hey, look, it really sucks when you lose somebody, but it even sucks more if you're going to lose your house. Don't let the banks take your house. Call me right now today. And I get a lot of phone calls from that. A lot of phone calls. And they're pissed off people. And they say, how dare I do this to them? So that's exactly not what I do. So I write a letter to people when I do probate. And then I follow up with them. And their probate's a whole huge process. Fort Worth, that's awesome. Cool, man. I know you know my boy Quentin, or Q. Right on. And so I tell you what, man, I've had people hold on to my letters. This is a true story. So I bought a home last year from a gal named Denise, and I mailed Denise a letter. Denise got my letter, and she didn't call me. This was in October, November of, I've had this house for over a year now, 18 months now. So 2016. In April of 2017, she called me up crying because she went with those We Buy Houses guys. She saw the sign on the road, said We Buy Houses. She called the guy up. The guy dragged her on for 6 months. Finally pulled the plug on her right before it's supposed to go to auction. Said, I can't buy your house. I'm sorry. Click. And so she calls me up, and she's just bawling her eyes out. And the first thing I ask is, I always want to track my marketing. You know, if you're really, really good, you have a lot of marketing going out, you want to make sure you have different numbers for your marketing so that you can go ahead and you can track which marketing pieces are working or which avenues of your marketing are working. So, not that sophisticated yet. As I'm growing right now and I have a VA, and she'll probably end up taking calls, and then start tracking that. So anyway, I digress. She called me up. I asked her so I could track my marketing. How did you hear about me? I have your letter. I'm like, I'm thinking here, I'm like, you have my letter? I haven't, and I hadn't done probate in a while at that point. And so I go and I look it up. I'm like, holy crap, she's held on to this letter this entire time. So yeah, that letter, if I were more on top of my game, which I am now that I've created these systems in place and stuff like that. But I'm telling you is, just by mailing one letter, it's that good of a letter. By mailing this one letter, she held on to it, and she called me back. You know, when things fell through on what looked like a good deal, like a slam dunk for her, she still called me back. And now I mail a letter, I mail postcards, I mail sequences of letters, and I do different things. But to answer your question, I mail letters. All right, what's going on, Jeremy? Going to Doc sign on a deal. Congrats, man. Got a lot of deals working here. Yes, sir. Q's the man. Q is pretty awesome, man. I've learned a lot from that guy. See, I hire people all the time. If I see someone doing something better than me, I pick up the phone, I call that guy. If he wants money to train me, I pay him money. I gladly pay somebody money. And though I worked with this guy, I worked for him I think 5 or 6 weeks, I can't remember how long it was. Didn't pick up anything new, like as far as like percentage wise, but what I did, the small percentage that I did pick up that was brand new, changed course on some of the things I'm doing. So yeah, way good stuff. I don't ever think I'm too good to hire a coach. I've hired plenty of coaches. All right, man. Eric, what'd you say? I will have your number, or we'll text you regarding the meetup. Sounds great, Eric May. Not a problem. Yeah, Jeremy, if you're working with Q, man, he's legit, man. I think the guy's doing between 10 and 12 a month. I'm doing right now between 5 and 6 a month, and I'm gonna blow this yellow light just like that. Oh yeah. So when you got a V8, you just go ahead and floor it. What's up, Eric? So yeah, my plan was to get up to start doing 7 and 8 now. I want to be able to do 7 to 8 consistent closings a month instead of the 5 or 6 that I'm doing, and going to be able to seriously do that now, and bump it up to 8 or 9 once I get my VA dialed in and some of these systems refined. Clifford, what's going on? Do I call probate leads? I've never called on probate leads. No. When they go per, when they're doing it themselves, it lists their email address and their phone number. I've never had to do that. It's kind of difficult. Like, what do you say to somebody who's just lost a family member, and you're calling about? I mean, I equate this to almost like ambulance chasers. Like, I'm a lawyer and I'm going to chase down an ambulance because someone just got slammed by a car, and so now I'm going to go ahead and like, hey man, here's my card. I got insurance money coming your way. I mean, that just seems to be a little bit sleazy. So I keep it professional. I mail a letter. If I see the house is going into foreclosure or something different like that, Clifford, I'm all over that, because now I have a different reason to call that person. And it's not because there's a death in the family. Now I'm there to help them. Because I'm not looking to prey on people. There's more than enough business to go around, and that's just me personally. Other guys might be different, but that's how I roll with that one. I can say this, though. There was a dude that he died, and the house did not go to probate, and I wanted to find the house. It was 2 years behind on back taxes, and I wanted to find the guy, and I was like, how come it didn't go to probate? I couldn't find. He was never. Neighbor said he was never married, never had any kids, never. You know, the dad owned the house, gave it to the son, and the son gave it to his son. So like, 3 generations, and they all had the same name, crazy enough, but they had different middle initials. Anyway, I can't find this guy anywhere. So I look at the obituary and I see that the mortuary, the funeral home that took care of everything. So I call the guy up. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for the next of kin of such and such guy. And he goes, well, what's it regarding? I'm like, I got a check for them. He's like, okay, hang on. So he hangs up, and like within 10 minutes, his sister, who's like 93 years old, she calls me. She's like, what's this regarding? You have a check for me? And I'm like, yeah, I got a check. I want to buy your house, your brother's house. I got a check for you right now. And, well, needless to say, I'm probating the house right now, and I'm in contract on this house. So that's, that's one way to kind of get around not calling him, but I wasn't directly calling him because someone had died. I didn't like call because I saw him in the obituaries. So what do you do, Clifford? Do you do anything different? Are you even going after probates? Hey man, thanks, Jeremy. Oh my gosh. My wife's texting me. My son's about ready to lose a tooth. My mom's like, yeah, the tooth fairy gives everyone $5. I'm like, $5? yeah, all of our kids get $5 when they first lose their tooth, but like, it's $1, man. $1 if they're lucky. And my brother, he's a dentist, and his daughter has, I love it. My brother's a dentist, and his daughter has all these silver cap teeth. I'm like, dude, hey, good job there, bro. But he gives his daughter $10 for her silver cap teeth. And I'm like, $10, dude? I'm like, I'm telling my mom to shut up. Stop putting these ideas in my kids' minds. Because here's a crazy thing, man. My son, who's getting ready to lose his tooth, this kid is like wicked genius. Like, I don't know, he's 5 years old right now, right? And no, he's 6 years old. He's 6 years old, and I'm getting schooled by this kid. So about a month and a half ago, his tooth falls out, and we have this little pillow that we put his like tooth in, and he puts it on top of his on his bedpost, and he writes this little small note on a sticky note, and he writes it. He says, "Dear Tooth Fairy, I don't want $1. I want some money from Taiwan. I want some Chinese coins." I'm like, all right. So my wife, who lived in Taiwan, has some Chinese money, so she puts some Chinese money in. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, this little sweet boy, he's like doing this. So 2 days later, he has another tooth. He like yanks the tooth out. I'm like, what the heck, man? What are you doing that for? So and they're still not coming in yet. So he's like, this is kind of like a little gopher. He's like 2 teeth only. So anyway, he yanks his other tooth out, and then he writes a letter down again to the Tooth Fairy. He's like, "Dear Tooth Fairy, I don't want $1. I want some Egyptian coins." I'm like, Egyptian coins? Who has Egyptian money? Who the heck has Egyptian money right now? So, what's up, Ryan? So, guess what he gets? He gets $1. We don't have Egyptian money. So the next day, he comes downstairs, and he's like, aha, I know who the Tooth Fairy is. We're like, what are you talking about, man? There's no Tooth Fairy here. He's like, Mom, I know you lived in Taiwan, so I know you had Chinese money, and then when I asked for Egyptian money, I got $1. Therefore, I know that you're the Tooth Fairy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Whose kid is this? What's going on here? I mean, this kid's like, I love him to death. He's a master negotiator. He's skilled, man. He's like, his deductive reasoning for a 6-year-old is off the charts. I'm like, this kid is amazing. But at the same time, I'm like, don't give him any ideas. Don't tell him that, like, hey, a silver tooth is worth $10, because then he's going to go rot his teeth all out, because he's all about money. Like, he's like a money magnet. Like, he finds money everywhere. We'll go to Sam's Club and order, like, some pizzas, and he's like the kid on his belly, crawling underneath the little kiosk. Man. Love him to death, but at the same time, I'm like, man, no. So, all right. Gave you a nice little family history here. Any last questions? I'm rounding the bend before I go home. Is this thing even on? Oh, I got allergies so bad. Alright, I don't see anything else coming on here. So, yeah, I usually get a nice response when I tell that story about my kid and the Tooth Fairy. But none of you guys, nothing, no hearts, no thumbs, no laughs. Not feeling the love anymore. All right. Cool, guys. Hey, thanks for being here. See y'all later. Have a great night. Go out there, make some money. Just remember, you are one deal away from changing your entire financial future. Never give up. Never, never, never give up. Peace.